In this video, we're going to look at another form of reverse chain rule, and that's when we have the derivative of a function sitting over a function in a fraction. It's going to involve logs. Let's have a look. All right, so we're now going to explore integrating things that are in this form, the derivative of a function sitting over a function. And you might remember from the chain rule that that's what you get when you differentiate ln of a function. So if y equals ln of a function, its derivative dy by dx is f dashed of x over f of x. So when you see the derivative of a function sitting over a function, you know that its integral is just ln of that function. For example, if y equals ln of x to the power of 6 plus x plus 1, then its derivative dy by dx is the derivative of that stuff, 6x to the 5 plus 1 over that stuff, x to the 6 plus x plus 1. So if I just presented this to you and said, can you integrate it? Hopefully you can see that it must have just been this, ln of that stuff, because you've got the derivative of a function sitting over a function. Whenever you see that, you know the integral of it was just ln of that denominator. So let's have a look at a bunch of examples. Okay, so I'm looking for the integral of 2x minus 3 over x squared minus 3 plus 5. And without even doing guessing and checking, I can just see that the numerator is the derivative of the denominator, because denominator differentiates to 2x minus 3, and that is right there. So without any sweat or anything, I know my answer is ln of x squared minus 3x plus 5. Okay, that's it. Okay, easy as that. Now, sometimes you might want to do some guessing and checking, particularly when the numerator seems like it's some multiple of the derivative. You might want to just be a bit careful about that. But in cases where it's just staring you in the face, you just integrate straight to ln of the denominator. How about this one? We've got the integral of x squared plus 1 over x cubed plus 3x minus 8. Okay, well here it's not so simple, because the derivative of the denominator is 3x squared plus 3, which is not the same as x squared plus 1, but it is a multiple of it. And just to be sure, let's just guess and check. So I'm going to guess that it was just ln of x cubed plus 3x minus 8. And when I check, here's what I get. I get the derivative of this, which is 3x squared plus 3, all over the function, which is x cubed plus 3x minus 8. And what I can see is that this is just precisely 3 times as big as I want, because it's 3 times x squared plus 1 over this stuff, which means that my guess was a good guess, but it was 3 times too big. So it means my answer is just a third of what my guess was, a third ln x cubed plus 3x minus 8 plus c. And there's my answer. And okay, we could fiddle around, for example, with a log rule tells me that I can move this power up, this coefficient up there as a power, but I really think there's no point here. All right, what about a trig example? The integral of sine 2x over cos 2x plus 1. Well, is the numerator the derivative of the denominator? Not exactly, because the denominator differentiates to minus 2 sine 2x, but that's good enough, right? It's a multiple of what it should be. So I'm definitely going to do a guess and check here just to make sure we don't make any silly mistakes. So I'm going to guess ln of cos 2x plus 1. And if I check this, well, it's the derivative of that, which is minus 2 sine 2x over cos 2x plus 1. So it's just minus 2 times what it should be. So my guess was good. It's just minus 2 times too big. So I'll just compensate by having a minus 1/2 ln cos 2x plus 1 plus c. Okay, so that's how we can use the reverse chain rule when we've got the derivative of a function divided by the function. In the next video, we're going to look at how to use this technique to integrate a few more complicated trig functions and look at some definite integrals. See you there.